Hey, it's MK, and I am back with 31 Days of Cut File Fun, and I am working with a pear tree cut file background that I absolutely love. This hexagon file is right up my alley. So I picked a 49 and Market Wedgwood paper to go with it. I definitely want to use the background. The blue portion. I also picked out this sage green cardstock to map my photos with, and I have 3 photos, but I have a feeling I might not use all 3. I'm not sure yet. I also have these really cool Studio 40 little chipboard. It's almost like balsa wood. It's very thin, very, very lightweight. I have some 49 and Market Escape or Travelers. I don't know what those are called. Yep, don't have a clue. A pocket card that I've been dying to use for quite a while. I also have die cut pieces from that same exact set, the Traveler set. And then some paper clips that I thought was pretty cool in rose gold. Some border strips from Creative Memories. And then a little baggie of just random bits and pieces from my Not Just for Boys kit clubs, my Creative Memories things, and Pink Paisley or Pink Fresh, one of the pinks. I'm not really sure, you guys, but I do know it's there. Oh, and I also have Simple Stories, some sort of vintage line that they had. I think it was a heritage one. So I'm just pulling out some things from this cute little bag that I thought would go with this layout, but I have no idea what I'm going to use just yet. And also picking out a few of these paper clips. And I don't know if the paper clips are from a collection or if they are just standalone paper clips by 49 and Market. You know how they don't have a collection tied to them. I'm also going through this die cut pack from I think it's called Anywhere. Yes, that's what it's called. Going through here and trying to figure out what I want to use. And, I just love the colors that are in this particular collection by 49 and Market. And so I was trying to get a little bit of everything. Now I decided that I'm finally going to just rip this card up and just take what I want from it and stop trying to use it as a 4x6, which I think is the reason why it hasn't been used just yet, because it's too big. I also took those epoxy package by 49 and Market and set it off to the side so I do not forget that I want to use it. Now, the first thing that I did was I cut apart the frame of my hexagon, so that way they go from edge to edge. And I absolutely love not having the frame. So I'm going to take those off and go and spray them black. That is my thing. I think I like black cut files more than I like white ones. But I prefer them all in white because it's easier to make them black than it is to make them white, which I've heard before. So Susan, I apologize if I stole that from you. All right. So trying to figure out how to make all 3 of these photos go together, and I think I did, but now I just want all my elements. Now from this die cut pack from 49 and Market, I have already used up a few pieces, but those that I left behind I put back in the box. So I went ahead and I just basically am trying to find a place for this torn map piece, because it's supposed to look like it's torn even though I did actually tear it. So weird, huh? So I'm just trying to use it up. I think it looks good. It has all the colors in there. And then I'm trying to find a spot where my little arrows go. And look, this one can hold that map piece. How cool is that? But I don't want it to stick out. I want it to be smaller than my photo. So I'm going to trim that down a little bit and throw out that extra piece. I also took my Creative Memories, kind of, what are they called? Road sign border, and I went ahead and cut it in half. I actually cut an image out in order to have a half, and I decided not to use the tire tracks. That's okay. There just was a lot, too much going on, to be honest. And then I decided that I'm going to use the just the single suitcase instead of the stacked suitcase like I thought I was going to use. But when I put it on my layout, it was missing something. And I was like, oh, I really don't want to back this. But it definitely does add to that little corner there. in that cluster, and it'll add a little bit more too, because I think I do end up adding more to it. So I'm just gluing down my hexagons in the edges. So I'm just taking the little edges and gluing them down, because my photos are going to do a really good job of keeping everything else glued down. So it's kind of pointless, gluing it twice basically. So I'm just making sure that when I put this in a page protector, these little guys are not going to pop up or get caught or bend or anything like that. And then I'm going to let the photos do the rest of the work for me. Yep. But first, what I planned on doing is building my photo as a cluster before actually gluing it all down. So I'm going to work a little bit more on the cluster of photos and embellishments. Before I actually glue them all down. So then what I'm going to do is take all of these blank spaces from my road signs and back them, because I didn't like how I could see through both my photos. And it's distracting when I have that. And I decided to use just a spare scrap that I had on my desk from a Coco Vanilla Boy collection. And I really wanted it to be dark, but I'm kind of glad I went with the light, because then it's not like a solid line going through the two photos. So I think the light, the white, it's not really white. It's kind of almost like gravel, like a gravel texture that's not really textured, but hey. I think that I like it a lot more because it's just not the solid line. So still picking through what I already had picked out previously, and I'm just trying to figure out what all I have to add, but I don't want to add so much that it takes away from the hexagon background. I probably could have filled this entire page with what looked like postage stamps and labels and all that good stuff. I probably could have done all of that, but instead I want the hexagons to be seen and to be, part of the design. And so I'm trying to stay light-handed. All right, I cut out this postage stamp, but I decided that I wanted the road map that the postage stamp also was on as well. So I'm going to tuck it in to where you can't really see that it has a hole in it, but it still is a usable element that I can use. And I'm just going to take this cute little camera by by Simple Stories. And of course, take the little white space. I don't like those big white spaces, you guys. I just don't. But I am going to strategically place it to where it covers up the hole. And now I'm happy with my cluster, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it all on as one. And then one of the reasons I did this is because of the fact that if I was to have glued the photos down and then try to tuck things behind it, I was afraid that the hexagons were going to get caught on those elements. So that was one of the main reasons why I did it this way. The other one is because it's kind of sort of fast to build your clusters like this and then glue it all down as a whole. I just think that it makes for a quick layout because you were able to build it as you went and then, finally commit. All right, so I'm gonna go through these little epoxies real quick to see if there is anything, and I'm definitely going to use the word drive up here in this dead space of my photo. And then there's just a few more pieces that I end up using, not a whole lot. I thought that I was going to use the enamel dots, and then I figured no, because again, it's going to take away from the, and they're not enamel dots, they're epoxy dots. I have no idea what the difference is, but I just had to clarify. But I thought that it would take away from the hexagons. And so I opted not to put any dots down. The page does look a little bare without it, but that's okay. I really am okay with not having the little dots. Now, I did off camera, because actually the majority of it was not in the camera. I went and backed my little suitcase, which I adore. And look, I changed my mind because I found these off-white little dots. I decided instead of splatters, I'm going to do the dots. I didn't want to because they were going to take away from the hexagons, and then I found these. I still have not put away my legendary enamel dots, and so I like them. I actually really prefer to have them on the layout, because now they look like little splatter bits, even though I didn't splatter anything. And I am kind of in that mood to splatter. All right, that is it. Here it is. I absolutely love all the colors in this layout, even though I really didn't bring in a whole lot of colors. It was the elements that brought the colors in for me. I had blue and green picked out. That was it. And then just by using the elements and having a little bit here and a little bit there, the colors I feel really go good with my children. So it's pretty cool, I think. Anyways, be sure to check out Christina, who is doing a Facebook Live every single day. That way you have twice the inspiration for the exact same cut file. All right, I will see you all later. Bye.